Welcome into this episode of Coach's Corner. Jordan Woodruff with you, and good to have you along. We're joined today by the head soccer coach, Ben Steichen. And Coach, good to have you along. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, including the fact that we got seasons getting ready to gear up here pretty soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So let's first talk about, I want to get into other stuff too, because like I said, there is some exciting things going on. But let's talk about your team first and foremost. So what are you looking at? I know you've had a chance to practice a little bit. And now we're getting really close to games, I guess, right? I know sickness, weather,
Yeah.
it's been a tough one, but you maybe have got out there at least to kick a ball around a little bit, right?
Yeah, actually the last week and a half has really been good for us. We've actually gotten the opportunity to get back out there, slow play it back in like we were starting all over again is what we really talked to our guys about. And guys have been slowly getting healthy, and we're working that conditioning kind of going through. Really overall, last couple of practices have been our best practices that we've had in a while. Got a lot of intensity, a lot of effort. Guys are enjoying it, so we're really excited. We've got 54 guys out this year. With not quite as many as we thought we were going to. Some guys have kind of got lost along the way, trying to figure some of their stuff out. So we wish them the best, and they'll come back to us hopefully next year once everything's good. But those 54 guys that are left, we're really excited about what we have in the top half of it. We feel like we've got about 25, 26 guys that could really provide us some minutes or some quality play up on the varsity level. We're kind of building off of hopefully momentum from last year where we were so young and inexperienced that now we get that opportunity to see, hey, how does that impact moving forward? So we're really excited about it.
Yeah, and we talk about this all the time. Districts are really tough for soccer, and it's like the old, football used to be football. Now you get 6 in 6A. Soccer, it's still just 4 out of the district of 8. So, you start looking at that, and I know that's the goal. You want to make the playoffs, but it's really hard to do. And you guys have been on the cusp a few years. You think you got that possibility this year to get there?
I think we really do this year. We've got a different district. They had to reorganize some of the districts to the private schools. So this year, we get Enid, we get Stillwater, we got Jinx and Union as our top 2 dogs,
right.
And then you've got some solid quality opponents behind it. U.S. Grant, Piedmont up from 5A,
right.
and Sapulpa also up from 5A. But they're opponents that we feel like we match up with a lot more than we have in years past. So we're really excited about what that can actually do for us and move forward. I mean, again, we talk about it. Football and us are the only 2 that really use our districts to get into the playoffs. And football gets 6 teams, we still get the 4. But we're ready for the challenge. We like that. Whatever comes our way, it's us against the world.
Yeah, in a way, it becomes a playoff every district game already. So it puts a lot of onus on you to go out there and win and not make those mistakes, which, like I said, a playoff game right away when you start district. Let's talk about some of the guys you got. Let's go through them and talk about who your impact guys. I know you can't go through all 54, but you could talk about the ones that you think are going to make an impact, or maybe some of the new ones that you think that weren't out there a year ago that can make an impact this year.
Well, I mean, we got several. We're going to go. I mean, we got Dax Aragi, who's returning as a starter for the 4th year. He's really our playmaker. Go with him. Then behind him, we've got a couple of seniors that are captains this year. Adrian Perez, who you know from football, he got voted as a team captain for the first time this year, and we're really excited about how he's looking and how he's playing. He's going to lead the charge in the defensive area. And then Gio Cervantes has returned as a captain as well, and he's really kind of leading that charge between being able to play defense, center mid, everywhere we really need him to. He's a plug and play kind of guy. So we're really excited about those as we go into it. Going forward, we're going to be starting off a couple of new guys as they go into it probably. Evan Mills looks to be our number 1 keeper as a junior. Hasn't gotten a lot of playing time near as much. He kind of split the season last year, but not as much as we would have liked. And then you start talking about that sophomore class, Hondo Perez. You're also talking about Grady Scott, a 3rd captain, the coaches put in this year, as well as Jose Luis Montes de Oca, and then also going to be Kason Larimer and Ben Anderson as we go into it, Roman Ward. We've got a lot of guys right there. So returning, those are the guys that played and we feel like can provide us some. We've also got 5 foreign exchange students this year, which is really unique for us. And we're really kind of excited about them. We get 3 from Spain, 1 from Germany, and 1 from Sweden. So we're really
places
excited.
where soccer, that's their sport, right?
It's been a huge deal with that. So those guys are acclimating to the team, and we're getting to see a lot of them, and we really feel like they can be those guys that can be that extra little bit to kind of fill those spaces and fill some of those roles. So we're really excited about those guys going forward with the guys that we also have coming back as well. So a lot of them kind of going forward, but really overall, we're going to be relying on those three seniors to kind of make our team go, whether they're a captain or a team leader, and that should get us over the hump.
Well, and Adrian Perez, I got to know him really well, of course, over the years with football. You know, you have to remind him that he knows, but tackling's a little different in soccer.
We've never had to worry about with that kid. He's our best one-on-one defender. We feel very confident every single time that somebody goes up against him because he's physical, he's quick enough, and he just has great timing, great awareness of it. I mean, that kind of comes from the...
He turned into a great American football defender when you look at it as well, because he wasn't even going to really play a lot of linebacker. The last 2 years he had to play a lot and ended up being one of the leading tacklers.
Yeah. I mean, he's got that in him. I mean, and that comes from his dad. His dad's an all-stater. His dad's, a member of a state finalist team here, played college ball. So, I mean, really overall, he's got that in his blood to be able to play that defense, and he's been a great asset for that for 4 years. As a freshman, he really, broke into the team a little bit, and they struggled. His sophomore year, we got even better with him out there. He moved a little bit over into the center. Last year, of course, younger guys. As we talked about at the end of last season, we lettered 27 guys, and a lot of them were freshmen. So now we're kind of going forward, and he can really lead that charge just because of what he's able to do.
And we're hoping that charge leads to playoffs when it's all said and done. All right, talked about the team. Now I want to get into the exciting stuff, and of course the outdoor complex that is been around in a thought process, and now we're starting to see it really, really come together. A lot of excitement to be able to get over there and utilize that.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely excited. I mean, the closer you get, you look at it, you're like, yeah, I want to be out there. I want to be out there. We know that they've got some things that they need to finish up, so we don't have a timetable for it, but we're definitely excited about what the school district has provided over there. We got the chance. We've had the chance to go and tour everything inside and outside, and, as we go into it, it's a really nice facility as we go in and look at it. The turf is great. It's going to be fantastic for soccer. It's made for soccer as you go through, is what a lot of we've been told by construction, as they go into it. And you look at the difference between the turf. They are two different turfs between Solon's and the indoor facility versus that new soccer facility, multi-sport facility. So really excited. We can't wait to be on there. We're looking forward to the green light whenever we get that. And as soon as we get there, we'll use it to the best of our ability.
Yeah, and the green light, of course, with construction projects, if is always a moving target. It could be early, it could be late. You just don't know when, depending on weather and everything else. The one thing, though, that's big, I think you look at it for coaches across the board, the indoor facility. Mm-hmm. Having that where, especially, I feel like for soccer, where a lot of times in the month of February, you can be practicing when it's 25 degrees right now. I mean, there's been some days where it'd been nice to probably been inside that indoor facility that has a lot of room, be able to work. That has to be just a great thing and really a great opportunity for your players, because I know when I was a kid playing high school baseball, I hated being out in the cold.
Right.
To be able to go and playing's different, but practicing, it's important, but it's practice, right? We're talking about practice.
Yeah, we're talking about practice.
But to be able to do that in the indoor environment and get the maybe most out of the kids, that they're not worried about the cold in that indoor environment, it's going to be awesome.
We couldn't agree more. I think it's going to be an asset for not just soccer, for every sport that's in there. If you have football in there for off season or even during their season, baseball getting to come in and use. They've got some marking set up for baseball and softball that'll be great. You got a couple of lanes for a track, so you can get conditioning. You can get your basics and your ball work done for no matter what the sport is. So really exciting time for it as you go into it, and I can't wait to see more of the finished product. We got to go in there and kind of tour it where it wasn't as finished, it wasn't as polished. So it's going to be great to see that finished product, and I think it's going to be a great asset to all the sports that are in Ponca City.
Yeah, I do think it's a great asset, but it just seems like soccer could benefit really a lot, especially when that turf is kind of geared towards soccer as well, which you've been told. So really excited about that for all sports. But like I said, the more I hear about it, the more I'm like, well, soccer, this sounds really like a good deal.
I think it'll be a good deal. We've had a couple of those days where you're looking at them and like, man, it's super cold. We had one day the guys were going, hey, can we just go out and practice? And That's when we had the snow, and we're looking at it going, guys, we just got over being sick. We've got this wrong, we've got that wrong. You get in there, and that ball's going to stick. And truth be told, you guys are going to try to play snowball fights more than you are going to practice. So we're really excited. They understood that, and they're excited as well as we are that there could be a time when we get in there, and it doesn't have to be a long practice, but you're getting to focus real quickly, get in, get out, and you still don't miss a day.
We talk about cold. The other thing during soccer season especially is you're fighting severe weather.
Mm-hmm.
And it can't be outside with lightning. You can be in an indoor facility with lightning.
Right. We've had that a few times where you just kind of gone through, and this will help acclimate to the weather as we go into it, and it'll roll with the punches with it. We don't get to miss many days. Whether we have to take a set time different and make sure that all sports get in there, soccer's going to get their opportunity just as much and everything. So we're excited about whatever opportunity we get and make the most of it.
Yeah, and when it comes to those like weather delays, think about a ball game, right? You could walk over to the facility
mm-hmm.
and utilize staying warm, staying stretched, all that, and not just have to sit in the locker room. I don't know what the rules and guidelines are of that. If the other school has to be able to do that too, which is probably so, but you could be able to do something like that.
We think about that as we go through. We'll do whatever we're supposed to for everybody and play good hosts like we need to, show respect and get respect. But for our guys and gals, it'll be fantastic for them because we will be able to dictate how we go about doing things. If we feel like we want to stay inside a little bit more, then we can because we've got that indoor facility. And the great thing is we got a locker room that's going to be right there.
Yeah.
So it's in between the field and the indoor facility, and it's going to make it so much easier to be able to transition wherever we need to be.
Yeah. So, hey, looking forward to it. Looking forward to the season getting started. Mm-hmm. And before we let you go, first match for you guys, and I want to say first one coming up also, when's your first home one?
Our first home one is going to be our homecoming on March 11th against Bartlesville. And then our first match overall, we're going to play in a tournament 7th and 8th that Friday and Saturday over in Enid. We do know our first opponent. First opponent off the top of my head is going to be not Clinton because they're on the opposite side of the bracket. Oh, it's going to be Bixby.
Bixby. Okay.
Yeah, we got Bixby. Yeah, I had to think about that for a second. UConn and Clinton are on the other side of the bracket of us, so we know that already. So March 11th, though, and then we'll officially open the season for us March 7th.
Full month in the indoor facility, not quite ready yet, so I'm hoping for some good weather to get some practice in.
Hopefully so.
All right, Ben, appreciate the time.
Appreciate you.
Coach Ben Steichen, boys soccer. That's going to do it for today's episode of Coach's Corner. Thanks to Chris behind the camera, Jordan Woodruff saying so long. Until next time, go Cats.